For me, building a service business has been the highest and most hectic spiritual practice. I've learned more from just trying to help people and make some money than I have from any book, any advice, anything. My account blew up not long ago, well this last year, from 1,700 followers, where it had been for 8 years, to 50k in the space of 2 months. And I had this influx of attention and interest. And in some ways it was really good because I really needed that. It had been a long time of really grinding. But in other ways I realized that the more energy you have coming in, the more important it is that your internals are right. So imagine your business or your life as a car. And when you get the things you want, it's like adding horsepower to the car. But if there's no internal order in your mind, in your emotions, or in your business structures, or in your body, it's like having a car where the parts aren't set up to handle the horsepower and the transmission breaks when you put your foot down, Or it's like having a circuit board where you just ups the amperage and the voltage or whatever, but you don't have parts that can handle it. It fries you. You get burnt out. And so for me, this great thing that happened was also a really challenging thing that happened, where I realized I don't just need to be known, I need to be known well for being someone I want to be. I don't just need to be posting content, I need to be posting the kind of content that I can keep making. And how sustainable is this? Because otherwise it's like winning the lottery and then pissing it away. It's like you end up getting a drug habit, or your self-sabotaging patterns get put on steroids because you've just injected more into everything. Not just more into the good bits, more into the really rough bits too. So your subconscious knows how trustworthy you are in the way you use your system. Your subconscious kind of lives, or your unconscious, I don't know which way you want to put it, it lives in your body basically. And it is the internals of the car, so to speak. So it's already in touch with what's working and what isn't. It either feels safe or it doesn't. And your conscious mind has these desires, these things that it wants. And that's usually a reflection of what you think is going to help bring you safety. When there's a split, you'll have things you want, but you'll also be pissing them away as soon as you get them. And that becomes a self-fulfilling loop of I don't have this, therefore I want it. But no matter how much I get, I never feel it's enough. So at each level, you consciously upgrade and you upskill and you earn more and you do better. Your subconscious also has to come with you and feel safe there. Otherwise, it's going to bring the other level back so that there's no internal conflict, because your system doesn't like internal conflict. Your body and mind want to be together in a happy marriage, and when they're not, that's when anything we do gets sabotaged by that internal conflict, which is felt as depletion, it's felt as degeneration, as opposed to something that's energizing and generative. And this is why in nature you have seasons, and we have seasons in our life. Like a tree grows, spring, summer, autumn, it drops what it doesn't need, hunkers down, and then it comes back again. We're like that too. We go through these cycles or spirals of growth. And so for me, there's been nothing better than testing how honest I am with my own capacity and how well I know my own needs and my sense of the connection between my desires and my deficits. There's been nothing better for developing that than interacting with people through my business, through the act of trying to serve and get paid for it. And what I've realized is when I've put my prices up for something and haven't felt right about it, it's been because I don't trust myself to be able to deliver and feel good. So I know that I'm going to have to sacrifice something important to me about my well-being to meet the expectation that I've put out there for what I can give other people. And that's when you create resentment between your needs and the needs of others. In a service business, your job is to match them as closely as possible so that what's good for them is what's good for you. In fact, in every relationship, that should be your aim. To create a dynamic where neither of you has to go backwards for the other to go forwards. And ideally, the relationship is more than the sum of the parts. When your body and your mind evolve together, it's bigger than just your body or your mind. Everything gets better. When you and your best friend are both happy, it's better than just two people being happy. The we is also happy. But you can't learn this stuff unless you go out there and interact. So sitting in a cave is great, but your diversity of relationships in a cave as a monk is fairly small. So maybe you can go internal, maybe you can grow in other ways, but you don't have so many grounded reference points as someone who's out there in the world walking around living. And so that person who's trying to make money, who's trying to be happy, who wants to build things and feel deeply present and embodied, they've got a heck of a journey ahead of them, a heck of a challenging journey, a heck of a rewarding journey. And it's the ultimate path. It's the ultimate path. If you can bring the heaven of inner peace to the earth of the world we live in and all its eccentricity and all its strangeness, and if you can reconcile that sense of godliness or spirit or whatever it is, that unnameable bliss of wonder, I don't care what you believe in, but that thing, that X factor, if you can reconcile that with all of the strangeness, all of the suffering, all of the pain, all of the trauma, that is the size of you. That gap between the depth of your roots and the branches on the tree, the bigger that gap is, the more extremes you've experienced through trying to traverse the world, the bigger your sense of center and home becomes, and the bigger your capacity to enjoy life and to contribute. You get more and you give more. So that's why service and relationships in the world, in my humble opinion, is the fucking way. It'll help you address your subconscious patterns and your inner conflicts, because you'll realize that you keep shooting yourself in the foot. And then you'll have to address that, because you'll have practical issues that force you to, that get frustrating not to address. And also you'll get to experience on the flip side of that, a level of joy and internal fulfillment that is just beyond what you could ever comprehend alone. And then you realize that what you are is made up of all of this. And what could feel more enlightening than that? But there's no mental trickery. You don't have to pretend. It's a real experience that's occurring right in front of you.